It's showtime.
Hey, welcome to Did You Watch Survivor Last Night? This is the only Survivor podcast. My name is Jake Scheidel. Each week I ask my best friend, Thomas Powell, if he did indeed watch a certain reality show. Hey, Thomas, how are you doing today?
I am doing great. I'm just chilling on an old Sunday. It's not fucking freezing around here like it was later in the week. It's actually quite nice. It's like 39 degrees. So I'll take this for some February weather. This has been our weekly weather update. How's it like in your neck of the woods?
It's warm. You know, it had been 1 degree recently, but today and yesterday it was around the 40 mark. So that's pretty nice.
It definitely feels good. We have some snow that needs to melt, so I'm pleased that that's going to be gone.
I do have a, what is it called? Like an old plant, like stalk, you know? The plant has ceased to exist, but its body is still there. There's got to be an easier way to say that. But anyway, a lot of ice accumulated on it, and now the sun shines through it sometimes, and it looks really cool. So winter actually does have some positives to it. I know I'm a big winter hater, but I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, sounds cool to me. Sorry, I was trying to surreptitiously text my dad while you were saying that, and then I was like, "Oh shit, I didn't hear anything." So yeah,
oh my goodness.
Sounds. I'm happy for you, or sorry that happened to you.
Thank you so much for saying that. What were you texting your father about?
Oh, he wants to know if I'm coming over for dinner tonight, and
did you say no? I'm too busy watching Survivor.
Well, he tried to call me, and so I texted him to go, "Hey, I'm recording," and then I got a question there. So,
Well, Thomas, I'll ask you this before you get your dad to ask you any more questions. Like, do you not tell him when you're recording? Whatever. I'm not gonna get into a fight with your dad over the. What is this? Internet. All I have to
what do
say.
The old what you call it?
What do you kids call it these
tubes.
days? Thomas, the simple question is this, and it is that I must ask you, did you watch Survivor Panama last night?
I sure did, Jake.
And what a great show it has been. It's been so much fun. I'm enjoying this season so much.
I am too. This was like a really solid 2-episode block that we watched. I think it's getting me very excited for the home stretch.
Yeah, we're almost there. This first episode we watched this week was called Medical Emergency. What do you think of that episode title?
I think that certainly described a thing that happened on this episode.
I would say this title is accurate.
Man, it's really funny that this has happened multiple times on Survivor. This specific medical evacuation. And it's like it's basically the same point in the game, too. It's like right towards the end.
This one felt less self-inflicted, though.
It did, yeah. I felt worse for Bruce than I did for Joe. Joe, it was like, you made your bed. You shouldn't have eaten all those beef skewers.
Yeah.
Also, I just like Bruce a lot better than Joe, so that there was more sympathy there.
Yeah, he was kind of the artist of the season. Do you want to know a fun fact about this episode? And
sure.
Hey, maybe if you have a medical emergency of your own, this might be helpful to hear, because this episode first aired on April 20th, 2006. What were you doing April 20th, 2006?
I was not smoking weed. I had not smoked weed in my life.
How old would you have been that day?
4/20/2006, I would have been 14 years old.
I would have been 15 years old and 1 month. My sister would have been 18 years old and 1 day. Talking about sisters' birthdays so much this episode, this week. What am I trying to say?
Sister Act 2 over here. All this sister talk.
You know, okay, this is Wrestling Corner real quick. You said Sister Act, and I thought you were going to say Sister Abigail. What if Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas, came out with a Sister Abigail of his own and called it Sister Abigail 2? Oh, wait. It would be Sister Abigail 3 because Alexa Bliss already does the Sister Abigail. So Alexa Bliss is Sister Abigail 2. Anyway, how many viewers do you think this episode of Survivor got? Remember the previous episode in which we saw the balls of Shane Powers got 15.07 million viewers. The previous 2 weeks before that one, of course, got 16.36 and 16.25 million.
I'm gonna say this is gonna tick back up. I'm gonna say 16.1.
It got 16.26 million, almost exactly back to where it was before they decided to show us Shane's gross balls.
That's good. People put it in behind them. They put Shane's balls in the past.
They were like, I don't need to see that.
Everyone found out that his son's name was Boston Powers, and they were like, all right, I'm back in.
Boston Powers. Groovy, baby. So at camp, Terry is feeling melancholic, but doesn't want to talk about it. Tell me about it. There's nothing worse than talking about depression. Oh, go to BetterHelp. Here's some BetterHelp for you. 420. If you know, you know. You know? Speaking of
yeah, sure. Okay.
Speaking of 420, the pot fell in the fire. Did you see that?
I did see that. That was pretty crazy.
Do you call it pot or weed or cannabis? This is like a BuzzFeed personality quiz.
I say weed. Pot I feel like is a very like my dad or like my uncles definitely say pot.
Yeah.
Does anyone say? I feel like it's really annoying to say cannabis.
I feel like corporations that are trying to like sell you a product call it cannabis because they're like trying to rebrand the illicit drug.
Yeah, it's like more, it sounds like more of a premium product.
Yeah. Anytime I see somebody advertising cannabis, I'm like, do you mean weed? When we were in Alabama for whatever the most recent reason we were in Alabama was, one of Ariel's uncles or great uncles, came over and told us how he and his brother used to like just sell weed and how it was such an easy crop to grow because, you just give it some water and some sunlight and there you go. They had acres of it or whatever. He was obviously
very resilient,
in the way
that's a classic.
uncles do.
That's classic uncle behavior is to grow pot because my uncles definitely also did that, and they got paranoid about it because the plants started growing way too high, and so they cut them all down and like took them out into a field and burned them. Because they were like, you could see this from like, if like a helicopter flew over, they could see this.
Were your aunt and uncle fucking cops in Reno 911?
Yeah, basically.
That's 100% something that happened on that show. Here's some less fun news. Bruce is having stomach issues and hasn't pooped in weeks.
It's concerning. He's got that Jair Bolsonaro no poop hospital trip in his future. Yeah. I would love a picture of him giving a thumbs up in the hospital.
Honestly, I don't even care where it happens. I just want to see a picture of Bruce giving a thumbs up. Yeah, I like Bruce. That's what I'm saying.
I know. Yeah, I want to see him. Yeah. I want to see him happy. Imagine Bruce happy.
Oh, Bruce Carnegie is. I'm guessing that's the Bruce because that's the first one that came up when I searched his name. And why else? Would I be searching Bruce? It's not like I'm the biggest Hulk fan. Good news. Bruce Carnegie's. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. His profile picture on survivor.fandom.com/wiki. It's a very nice picture of him smiling, not giving a thumbs up though. So
well, what can you do?
I'll keep searching for that throughout the rest of the episode, but right now I will tell you that this was very sad. I noticed that I think Courtney said I had cramps so bad or whatever, like I couldn't pass anything so bad I thought I had appendicitis. And then when the fucking medical team came out and was like, I can't rule out that it's his appendix, that was really frightening.
Yeah, that's appendix bursting is very scary.
Yeah. They find boxes with voodoo dolls in them for each of them. This was cool, and I liked it.
Yeah, this is fun. It was fun to see them like get their dolls all decorated like them. Good stuff. This is what you want from like camp life stuff.
Yeah. Anytime this challenge comes back up, I am just reminded of how Jeff Probst got fed up when there was like chatter between the contestants in Blood versus Water 2, and so they just canceled that challenge forever.
Yeah, they have a habit of doing this where they can't just like fix it. They're just like, all right, they do the like parent, like no one gets it, like your privileges are revoked thing. Because they did that with the auction too. And it's like,
yeah,
you didn't need to get rid of that.
Yeah, you could have just fixed it. You fucking worked on the immunity idol for 3 seasons straight until you got it right.
Yeah, it really wouldn't have taken much tweaking to make that not an issue. Just say that people aren't allowed to talk to each other. That's all you got to say. You're disqualified if you talk to each other.
Or just play it through. Like, that was a really interesting conversation. And I know we're not talking about San Juan del Survivor. I was trying to remember the name of that season. But, like, that's the iteration of this challenge that deserves to be talked about. Like, it's so stupid. It was an interesting, like, scene between all of these people trying to figure out who would win. And then Jeff's just like, well, who's going to win? That's why they're doing the challenge. That's the entire point of this challenge. Like, he's such a little fucking prissy diva sometimes. I don't like it.
Calm down, Jeff.
Smarten up, Probst, as we love to say. How did you feel about Suri trying to help her doll out by giving it the right amount of curves?
Great. Good stuff. No notes.
Suri continues to be the best part of this season.
Yeah, so there's a reason that Suri has the reputation that she does.
There's a reason
she's
for
one
the
of the best players ever.
There's a reason for the season game changes, and it is Suri.
Are you going to watch that Peacock show that Suri's on? The one that Alan Cumming hosts?
I keep seeing advertisements for it, and I'm so curious about it because
it makes sense that she's on it because it's like an all social gameplay game. Yeah, it's also like a murder mystery game though, and also kind of like The Mole. So I don't totally get it. It's like such a from the previews, it looks like there's such a high production on it, but then it's all these people who ultimately just like live in a house together, or like that's the shows they all come from, basically. So then they're all living in this mansion together where Alan Cumming hosts, but Alan Cumming is playing a character that's also Alan Cumming, but obviously is like putting it on for the murder mystery part of it. I guess I just need to watch the show. Yeah, they didn't. I should probably just give the pilot a try because it didn't really grab me either. Like I like Alan Cumming and obviously I like Suri, but I think I kind of felt the same way you did. I was like, I don't totally understand what this is, and it looks kind of corny. So, but maybe it's fun. I don't know.
I remember there being a show on, I want to say ABC. I don't know, 10 or so years ago, that was like their version of Big Brother. But then also there was like a murder mystery component to it, and no one watched it, and it got canceled, and it was very bad. But one of the contestants, this is the only thing I remember from the show, one of the contestants was so like, I don't know, claustrophobic or whatever. Like her anxiety was playing out in such a way that she just like deep cleaned the entire house. Very strange. And everybody just made fun of her.
That's also, never ever look that gift horse in the mouth. If somebody's anxiety cleaning, you let them do it.
Yeah. Hey, if that works for you, great.
Because you benefit from it and you don't even have to do any work.
Hey, I love to be lazy. Okay.
We could do, I don't know. I mean, I think we're going to do a simulated season or something, but that might not be a bad idea for like the break between the season is maybe try out that first episode and see how we like it.
What is it called again?
I don't remember. We can figure it out.
The Traitors,
the Alan Cumming show.
The Alan Cumming show that Suri and other people are on.
Yeah, featuring Suri and others.
Okay. So, weekly players will split into teams and compete to stay in the game. Okay, so that's every show.
What is it actually called?
The Glass House, It aired in
Okay.
2012 on ABC for one season. The first season of the show originally began in 2012. The show was met with criticism and low ratings. I knew this already. Okay, format. Here we go. 14 strangers living in a house, learning to be polite. Excuse me.
Yeah, and learning to stop being polite and start getting real.
How to stop being polite and start throwing stones. The glass house featured 14 strangers living in a house made of glass.
So it's very literal. It's a literal glass house.
It's a literal glass house. At selected days and times, viewers can watch a live feed of the house. There are weekly eliminations. Okay, so I think the murder mystery show I was thinking of was a different show that was on at the same time, because this is just a ripoff of Big Brother. They literally got sued.
Okay.
By
Interesting.
CBS. Well, fuck, I gotta figure out what that other show is, because that's the other...
It's The Traitors is the name of the Alan Cumming show.
Yes, the Alan Cumming show, I remembered that one, but the one that it always reminds me of was similar to the Glass House in that it was bad, but they had to do a murder mystery solve thing in the house they all lived in, but everything was like a puzzle, so there were like multi-steps. Like one of them was like, you think that somebody got shot in the back, but actually a bullet ricocheted off a wall, and that's why they got shot in the back. It was like that kind of bullshit.
Okay.
It was like, oh, okay. Well, of course nobody got that. Anyway, not a good show.
Well, Jake, I've got good news for you about this Peacock show.
Please tell me.
I'm looking at a headline here, and it says, Alan Cumming, quote, had a blast on Peacock's new reality show.
That's all I need to hear. I'll watch it. And it's actually called The Cock now. Pat McAfee deemed it The Cock at Royal Rumble.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's what we're
well,
calling
Pat
it
McAfee,
now.
very, very funny. He's TBS, very funny. So.
He really is. And TNT, he knows the drama.
It's true. He does know the drama. He knows, well, you know why? Because he hangs out with Aaron Rodgers all the time. Ayo.
I don't get that reference. He's a Green Bay Packer?
Yeah, he's a messy bitch who loves drama and hates getting the vaccine.
Tell me about it. Speaking of the Royal Rumble, number 30 in the Women's Rumble. Big time anti-vaxxer. You know that?
Who is, oh, is it, what the fuck is her
She's
name?
the irresistible force.
Is it, I'm not like most girls?
I'm not like most girls. I'm the irresistible force.
Yeah, what the, I had completely forgotten about her, and she came out. I was like, "Oh, right."
And she is part of the NOA family, but is not part of the bloodline because she's not very good.
Yeah, she keeps injuring people. I think that's been the story of her career,
But
is that
actually,
she injures
made the
people
man.
a lot.
She did make the man. So is it all
true.
bad?
That's true. She's not the only, because I'm assuming the troupe female wrestlers also. Honestly, there's probably a lot. If it's wrestling, there's going to be some anti-vaxxers there. That's what happens when you watch carny programming.
Yeah. Her name is Nia Jax.
Nia Jax. I had forgotten about Nia Jax.
So let's talk about this challenge on Survivor. Enough about the challenge of watching the Women's Royal Rumble. At the end, when Nia Jax came in, this challenge is called something, and it's the good challenge where they have to answer questions about each other. Perfect challenge, perfect time to implement this challenge. This is
exactly what I want.
Oh, no, let's do a fire-making challenge. This is better.
This is much better, and I also really like that when they vote for somebody, there's like the ropes that are holding... There's what, 3 ropes that are over the person's name?
Yes.
And you cut it with like a big cleaver? Mm-hmm. Very cool.
My favorite version of this, and it might have been San Juan del Survivor again, honestly, but was when they dropped like a rock on somebody's head, and then there was like red paint in the skull.
Oh, yes.
So fucking good.
Love that.
This is a great challenge, and I would love for Jeff Probst to bring it back. The winners get a helicopter ride to a spa. Thomas, you love the spa day.
The spa day is always good. I like the helicopter ride to it.
You like the spa
also,
day,
the
but
phrase
you love
helicopter
the
rides is
ride.
great because I just always think about the Gathering of the Juggalos infomercial guy going, helicopter rides.
Oh. Danielle does the least for the tribe. Terry's the first person out. What a surprise. Courtney never shuts up. Bruce is the next person out. Shane mistakenly believes he's running the game, which Shane denies.
Oh, we should probably put on the record, by the way, that one of the questions that they had to answer about their peers was, who is the most annoying person? And everyone voted for Courtney.
Yes. I think I wrote them all down. I might have missed one, but Suri is the most trusted with others' lives. Terry is the least likely to have your back. That was a weird question, but okay. Courtney asks, what is a poser? And Jeff says, the answer to what is a poser is you, because everyone voted for Courtney again.
Yeah, fucking, man, I would love, if this was 10 years ago, there would be like one of those YouTube, like, Jeff, gangsta moments, and it would be like, hold up, and then there would be like a big sunglass deal with it, sunglasses would come down, and it would go black and white, and it would be like, damn, that's gangsta.
Yeah, that's some good shit. Jeff Probst is like the most random host, and I love that about him.
Yeah, he's so random. Love him. He's got a bag of frozen vegetables on his head.
I was surprised that they said Shane is the moodiest until he responded to that. Yeah. He gets mad at Courtney for hitting him twice, and then Aris calms them both down. Courtney, as we already said, is the most annoying. Not at all surprising. I thought maybe Shane would be this one, but I wasn't surprised to see Courtney.
The thing is, I think people actually kind of like Shane. People do not like Courtney.
Yeah. Then Courtney is eliminated, and then Suri takes out Shane, and then Aris, and wins the whole thing, sending Terry to exile again and bringing Aris and Danielle. You know, it's good to be Suri.
That's right.
Suri says she picked Aris and Danielle because she thought she would have the most fun with them. I can't argue with that reasoning.
No, that's probably who I would take in this situation, especially because Bruce is not available.
Yeah. Because, he's sick or whatever. Shane is pissy that Suri chose Danielle over him. Is Shane ever not pissy? I guess when he had that cigarette on that reward.
Yeah, I think unless you're giving him a cigarette, he's going to be a little moody. He's going to be a little irritable. I get it. I think he thought he was going to be like a first pick because of their alliance. But, so, I would be a little disappointed that I didn't get to go to the spa either. But, it's fine. You're not going to get to go on every reward. It's okay. It's not a big deal.
I have a reward for you for sitting through this whole thing. I found the reality murder mystery show that is not The Traitors. It is called Who Done It?
Okay. I think I vaguely remember hearing about this. When is it currently airing, or when did it air?
August 18th, 2013 was the first season finale. And only
who
season
hosted
finale.
This show?
Gildart Jackson, who plays the mansion's butler, Giles.
Okay, I do kind of remember hearing about this.
The series follows 13 guests, one of whom is secretly the killer, posing as a contestant in the game, living in a Beverly Hills mansion named Rue Manor. They are guided by the butler, Giles, who also acts as the show's host. Within the show's fiction, the guests, along with Giles and two maids, are trapped by the killer within the house grounds until they determine who the killer is. What? Okay, whatever. An early episode shows that Giles is wearing an ankle monitor that forbids him from leaving.
That's pretty great. I like that they have to put that. It's like it's a show. The reason he's there is because it's a show. But I like that if some nerd is like, why doesn't he just leave? Like, well, he's got an ankle monitor on. So
Giles acts as a puppet for the killer. The killer sends messages to Giles, who reads them as surviving guests. To the surviving guests.
This sounds like it would be a very fun game to be on. This sounds like it would be fun to play.
Yes, it really was. As he was also the creator of the successful CSI franchise, creator and executive producer Anthony Zucker was able to bring the crew and set pieces from CSI.
What? What set pieces?
Incredible. The first
You
victim.
you can wear. Oh, what the fuck is the guy from NYPD Blue's name? That was the host, or that was the host of CSI Miami. The guy that was on CSI Miami.
Oh.
We have his sunglasses.
David Caruso.
Yeah, David Caruso. I almost said David Cassidy, but that's a different guy.
That's a different guy. I guess somehow okay, there's somebody called a riddle solver.
There's just Ted Danson's just hanging out.
Okay, wait.
Hey,
Okay.
when are you guys done? We got to film CSI.
There are 5 things that can happen to a contestant in an episode. They're either the riddle solver, or, which means they were able to solve a riddle, but did not have the most correct theory. Don't know what that means. Excuse me. The guest was able to solve a riddle, but did not have the most correct Austin theory. Just have to read it.
Sure.
If the guest had the most correct theory and survived, they were spared. Or if they performed well enough to survive, they were spared. If the guest was marked for possible elimination but survived, they were scared. And if they were up for possible elimination and had the least correct theory and was thus killed, they were also scared. So that doesn't... I thought that was going to be more exciting, but... So this is a show that existed. Who do you think won?
I have no idea.
Pull a random name out of your hat.
It's Jeff. I think Jeff won.
There was no Jeff. It was actually Cam.
Okay.
Do you know who the killer was?
Derek.
It was actually Chris. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's Chris. Oh.
There was also somebody named Ulysses on this show.
Wow.
Does ABC have a streaming service? Their own.
I mean, it might be on Disney Plus. Maybe it's on Disney Plus. It'd be on that or Hulu, I would think.
Okay, I'm gonna look into it. So Shane is pissy that Danielle went to the reward. Who cares? Shane tells Courtney that she's personalizing the questions too much, which he is right about. It's just a game. Bruce still cannot poop or eat. Pretty bad stuff for our friend
Those
Bruce.
are 2 very important things to be doing.
2 of my favorite things, honestly.
Yeah, I like it going in and I love it going out.
They have a wonderful massage at the reward. Cerie says, if I'm out tomorrow, at least I got to do this. That's very good.
Good attitude to have.
Yeah. Danielle and Aris think Courtney has a big crush on Shane. What's your take?
Maybe, I don't know.
I can see it. I want to cut together a preview for this season that makes it look like a love story between Shane and Courtney.
Yeah, it's just Shane screaming, "Why are you so sensitive?"
I can do it. I'm a magician with iMovie.
Yeah, it did kind of seem like some of the time she's just teasing him, and then
Yes.
he is withdrawing from nicotine and is instead just reacts very poorly to everything.
Yeah, speaking of reacting poorly, Bruce is in extreme pain. So medical shows up and checks him out, thinking it might be his appendix that has burst. Courtney and Shane help the doctor get Bruce on a stretcher, and they take him out to a boat. Even when they don't advertise Shane's balls, we still end up seeing them. Who is this guy, Richard Hatch?
He's the spiritual successor to Richard Hatch.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how Richard Hatch would play if he also was quitting cigarettes?
Oh my God. Incredibly, probably really well. Probably he'd win
really
another
well.
season.
Hopefully he wouldn't sexually harass one of the tribe members.
Yeah, well, happens once every 30 or so seasons, unfortunately. I got a quick correction. Happened a lot early on. Ariel and I have been slowly making our way through Survivor Thailand, and there's a whole subplot in there that's not fun. We'll get to it eventually, but it's one of the worst seasons of Survivor ever. So
Yeah, it does feel like maybe it's like every 15 or 20 there's like a creep who sexually harasses people, because we had one not too long ago where that happened.
Yep. Ruined the entire season. Terry says he's enjoyed observing the Kasaya tribe implode when he was at the challenge. I love like these late exile trips in the game where it's just like, there's no reason to be here. I'm just going to chill out, reflect
Yeah, and they
on
like,
things.
barely show it.
Yeah.
Just like, they're just gone for a little bit. It's fine.
It's always Terry or Aris or fucking coach being like, you know what? I'm having a great time being by myself.
Yep.
I get that feeling. Shane tries to convince Courtney to make a sub-alliance, and she seems hesitant but agrees. Because, you know, she's always been a burger kind of person.
You know who else is a burger kind of person? Me. I love being a burger kind of person.
Then Shane, for some reason, threatens to kill her, and she jokingly takes it seriously, but then he freaks out for real. This is...
Yeah, this is pretty fucking deranged, honestly.
Honestly, Cerise should have just taken one of them on the reward to keep this from happening.
Yeah.
Just for everyone's benefit.
Yeah, Shane does like a real actionable threat, and then Courtney, I think, to just try and alleviate some of the tension, is just like, my apartment's not shitty. And he was like,
why would I do that? Yeah. Danielle, Suri, and Aris return to camp, and Courtney tells them that Bruce was, in fact, medevaced. Did you know he was only the second person to ever be medevaced off the show?
Crazy. Who was the first?
Man, we don't talk about it so much anymore.
Okay.
He is the man who fell into the fire and apparently dated somebody I know. Does he date somebody you know?
What?
Somebody I was talking to recently was like, oh yeah, a friend, like my mom's friend or somebody was like, oh yeah, my roommate or somebody dated a guy who was on that show. And I think he fell into a fire. And I was like, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. This might be, maybe elaborate when we're not recording.
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely told you about it before.
I remember having this conversation. I just don't remember the specifics.
Yeah, we don't have to get into it. Shane tells Aris he's not with Suri anymore, but Aris thinks they're still good, that alliance. I am surprised by how concrete this alliance has stayed, with Shane being a part of it.
Like, yeah, you'd think. I guess he's like kind of loyal. I guess that helps because he's really,
constantly
really
threatening, promising his child's life.
Yeah, you gotta cool it with that. Like, there's only so many times you can pull that out. If the minute that you have to take it back at a certain point, I think maybe you stop using that.
Yeah. Do you know what Shane's son, Boston Powers, calls his dad?
What does he call him?
Bane.
He calls him Bane?
Yeah, because he's Boston Powers.
Okay.
Because he says everything with a B instead of whatever concept. Okay, he calls him Babe. Is that a better joke?
Yeah, okay. You gonna go see 80 for Brady?
Yeah, probably. I'm probably gonna go see it for an entire day.
I want to see what those old broads are up to.
I can't leave my home because of how I have to stay off my foot for another 4 weeks. But I'll probably make the trip to the nearest movie
cinema
complex, multiplex. It's showing 80 for Brady. I think the closest one is like a 10-minute walk, so it'll probably take me like 6 weeks to get there on my walker.
Yeah. Your foot will be healed then, though.
Oh, that's a really good point. Halfway on my trip, I could get up, having not eaten in 4 weeks.
Yeah, I made it. I'm 1 for 80 for Brady, please,
and a hot dog,
and some popcorn.
Actually, to be honest, the theater I'm thinking about, I haven't been to in a long time. I think I saw a Spider-Man movie there several years ago. It's a great theater, though. So, Suri and Shane chat, and he makes her swear on their kids' lives, and then he kisses her on the forehead. Cool guy Shane.
Yeah, cool stuff.
Courtney cleans Bruce's Zen garden. Terry and Jeff then return to camp, and Jeff tells them all what happened to Bruce. So they have no immunity challenge or tribal council. Sad episode for Bruce and for us.
Yeah, real bummer.
So here is the latest on Bruce and his pictures of him holding a thumbs up. He doesn't do a thumbs up in pictures. You know why?
Why?
He instead does a hang loose symbol.
Oh, I like that.
That's good. So technically his thumb is up, just his pinky is also up.
Yeah, his thumb is up. It's just also his pinky is up.
So in a way, his insides kind of exploded on him. Much like how the outside of Arzt exploded into him.
Yeah, so I think that's a fitting end to the arc of him being the Arzt of this season.
When you said that initially, I knew that Bruce was getting medevaced, and I was like, that's such a great comparison, and you don't even know it yet.
Yeah, that's just the kind of my intuition is very good. That's just, you know, I didn't know, but in a way I did know.
Yeah. If you know, you know.
I'm kind of an empath. I don't know if you have heard that about me.
When Bruce was complaining about being constipated and not being able to eat, were you like, I'm also constipated and unable to eat?
Yeah, I was like, you and me both, brother.
Yeah. The second episode we watched this week was called Perilous Scramble. How's that for an episode title?
A good one. Also, sounds delicious.
What would be
We'd love to eat go out to brunch, get a perilous scramble.
What would be in a perilous scramble?
Well, there wouldn't be any pears.
Okay.
Because it's a perilous scramble.
Perilous. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's say it's going to have chorizo.
Yep.
We'll say like some
Pepper jack.
Yeah, some pepper jack cheese, peppers, onions, and we'll say
I'd throw some
maybe
blue
like
cheese in there as well.
some sort of salsa or like a some sort of sauce.
Yeah. Sauce would be really good in an omelet or a scramble, I should say.
Yeah, like a chilaquiles type deal.
Yeah. Ooh, chilaquiles. I could go for a chilaquiles too. I
Good
haven't
stuff.
been outside of my house in 2 months.
Yeah, that's not. It's not great for going to eat delicious food.
Yeah, we're going to see delicious movies like 80 for Brady.
Yeah.
I saw
Tasty.
I saw a picture of somebody buying seats for 80 for Brady, and it was like almost every seat was filled. And somebody commented, "Looks like a lot more than 80 for Brady."
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a good joke. This episode first aired on April 27th, 2006. Thomas, remind me, how old would you have been that day?
I would have been 14 years old.
Not driving yet. I would have been 15 years old. Honk, honk, learning to drive. How many viewers do you think this one received? Remember last week we got 16.26 million viewers, and we did see some Shane balls.
I'm going to say 16.5.
Try again.
16.3.
No, try again the other way. And more.
16.6.
No, more.
17.
Point. And when did we graduate high school?
17.9?
No, 17.09.
Oh, it's 0.09. Okay, wow, that's a big jump.
Yeah, well, you know, people really had to recover from seeing Shane's balls.
Yeah, they needed some time, and apparently people didn't like Bruce, and they were like, "Oh boy, Bruce is gone."
Oh, good, Bruce had a medical emergency. I can finally
I'm
watch
glad
the show
that
again.
he couldn't shid or fard
Or eat even.
or eat. Yeah.
So Terry is feeling lucky that he gets to stick around and goes to work on getting allies. The Terry story. What is Terry's last name? Bradshaw? Probably not.
Terry Bollea.
The Terry Bollea story. Terry.
Hulk Hogan was on there the whole time.
His name is Dietz. Terry
Terry Dietz.
Terry Dietz knows best. Shane finds a piece of wood that looks like a blackberry and just has a little harmless fun, and everyone makes fun of him.
To pretend to be on the blackberry.
It's funny. Like, he was obviously doing a bit for himself, right?
This feels like him in production came up with the idea. They were like, this will be a fun bit.
Yeah, they were like, remember when Greg did this in the first season? What if you did something similar, but, 5 years later, 6 years later? They should do that every 6 or so years when there's a new phone on the market.
Yeah, it's because Shane be on that phone.
Yeah, these damn kids these days. All kids know these days is pieces of wood that look like blackberries and hot chip.
All Shane knows is swear on son's life, blackberry, eat hot chip, and lie.
So at the next reward challenge, they have to be broken up into 3 teams, go through an obstacle course in the water, then do a lily pad run and collect the bags underwater. Winners receive a barbecue feast. This lily pad run, Thomas, let me tell you, that shit looked extremely fun.
It did look very fun.
I want to do that one. Terry, Danielle, and Courtney win. Sending Aris to Exile Island. What do you think of this additional challenge they got to do?
It's a slingshot where you break things, so I love it.
Yeah. What do you think of the winners of the challenge getting a second challenge where they get to win a GMC Yukon?
I think that's pretty cool. I like having a second challenge where you win an additional prize, and then if you win the car, it means that you will not win.
Yeah.
At the end, because that's how this works.
See, that's like, speaking of them like working things out season to season, hey, if the car curse is a thing, hey, what if half the people don't know you won the car at the challenge? That's an improvement. That's something they tried. They did eventually abandon car people. Car people? Car salespeople.
Do you think they just couldn't get a sponsor anymore?
Yeah.
Do you think that's why they did?
Yeah, I think that's probably it. What do you remember about the GMC Yukon?
It's an SUV.
Yeah. Did you know it's also the same thing as the Chevy Tahoe?
I did know that, yes.
I didn't know that until I looked it up. Did you know that in 2006, the 2007 Tahoe was featured on and promoted through a television program that isn't Survivor, but was very popular at the time of Survivor, and was hosted by an eventual president?
Are you talking about The Apprentice?
That's the one. 2 teams put together a show for the top General Motors employees to learn about the new Tahoe. Also, The Apprentice sponsored a controversial online contest in which anyone could create a 30-second commercial for the new Tahoe by entering text captions into the provided video clips. The winner's ad would air on national television, an early example of user-generated marketing headed by ad agency Campbell Duald, okay? The campaign began to backfire when hundreds of environmentally conscious parodies flooded YouTube and Chevy's website, critiquing the vehicle's low gas mileage. Over 400 negative ads were created in total. However, over 20,000 positive ads. Those are rookie numbers. We got to do better, folks. Only 400 negative ads for this fucking car?
Yeah, there should at least be 1,000. You got to go 4 figures or more.
Terry wins this challenge. He wins the car. So, now Terry's not going to win the whole season. Are you upset?
Not really, but I did kind of think he might win, so it's interesting. It makes me wonder who's going to win.
Aris does yoga at Exile, doesn't want to waste his energy looking for the idol. I like Aris.
I do too. He's very chill.
Yeah. At the reward, Terry wants to make a final 3 deal with Courtney and Danielle. Obviously, who wouldn't want to do that? Everybody wants to make a final 3 deal with everybody. That's the name of the game.
Yeah, this is it's kind of nice when there's an obvious goat that people peg as a goat early enough that other people can react and vote them off.
Yeah. You're saying Courtney?
Yes. It became really obvious that that's who you needed to take to final two, and so the natural solution is to then vote that person off.
80 for Courtney. Speaking of goats. 80 for Courtney.
80 for... Oh, okay, yeah, because of the GOAT.
Or Ortney for...
The GOAT, Tom Brady.
Ortney for Courtney.
Okay. Ortney for Courtney. What's that movie about?
It's about a bunch of 80-year-old women who watch Survivor together.
Okay.
Sounds good. They go to a watch party with a contestant named Courtney. So is everybody in 80 for Brady like real NFL players, or did they just get guys who are going to play NFL players who aren't actually real?
Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski play themselves in the movie. I don't know if anyone else does. I know that they got actors to play like different coaches. Like Bill Belichick is not in the film as far as I know. And there is also some guy is playing Matt Patricia. So as disappointed as I am that Lions head coaching legend Matt Patricia will not appear in the film as himself, just got to deal with it, you know?
Is there a post-credit scene with our man Dan the Man Campbell?
Yeah, he comes up at the end of it and he kills Matt Patricia.
Setting up for 81 for Brady, obviously. Or I guess 82 for Brady. That would make more sense. Did you know the...
80 for Barry, the Detroit Lions sequel.
Yeah, it's a period piece. It's the same story, but set in the 90s.
Yeah, and it's got Barry Sanders.
1990s for Barry. And they're all a little bit older.
They're all in their 90s, and it's the 90s,
Look,
and they're going to see Barry Sanders play.
It tracks. My grandma lived into her mid-90s, and she was a Tigers fan till the day she died. She loved Miggy, Cabrera, obviously. Everybody.
How did she feel about Barry Sanders, though? That's the real question.
She probably loved Barry Sanders. Who
didn't? Who doesn't? Who doesn't love Barry Sanders?
Love Barry Sanders? Shane and Suri go over their options back at camp. Suri wants Courtney out. Ortney for Courtney. Suri goes fishing and catches a huge fish on Shane's birthday. How nice is that?
This was fun. It was fun seeing her freak out with the fish still being alive.
Yeah. I loved when Shane said, Captain America has been out there swimming for 3 weeks. Nothing. I love Shane always making fun of Terry. It's very, very good.
It's good stuff. Yeah, even Shane occasionally will say some fucked up things, but he can be funny sometimes.
True. Danielle asks Terry if he's going to take Courtney to Ortney. Final tribal council. He compromises with her by saying that he will make a pact that the top two finishers at the final three challenge will go to final tribal council together, and she agrees. I mean, like, what else are you gonna say?
Yeah, that's a situation where you just, you just attempt to minimize conflict.
Yeah. Courtney doesn't love that Danielle said someone would be dragged along to final tribal, whatever. Suri wants to take her Courtney even more now that Terry is going to take Courtney to final true. They've really given up on trying to get Terry out. They're like, who cares now? Whatever.
Yeah, there's just, what can you do? He's just going to keep winning these challenges.
At the community challenge, they have to kneel over a plank of water and hold ropes that have 20% of their body weight attached. Would you believe it if I told you that Terry won this one too?
It's crazy that he won. It's just was just no possible way I would have guessed.
I mean, who would have known that Terry would win every single challenge? Courtney and Suri to vote with Terry and Danielle for Aris. Suri tells Shane and Aris that Courtney are voting for Danielle, so don't even worry about it. Sorry, I fell asleep. Everybody's voting for everybody, you know? Then Suri fills in Aris and Danielle on the plan to vote Ortney for Courtney. And you can say it.
I can say Ortney for Courtney.
You can, and you did. Thank you. But before we more talk about Courtney, let's more talk about wildlife shots.
Yeah, what's going on? What's going on in the wildlife neighborhood?
Well, first things first, I do want to say on the challenge there was some cows, and that was really fun. On Survivor, we had flies. We had a vulture with a red head, which of course is the turkey vulture. Numerous birds, stingrays, ants, hermit crabs, snails, and Jeffrey's spider monkey. And no, not Jeff Probst. Okay, get that out of your head. It's Jeffrey with a GEOFFROY.
Like the giraffe.
Like Jeffrey the giraffe, yeah. They can be found throughout southern half of Central America in forests. And they live about 33 years. They weigh as much as 20 pounds and are 1 to 2 feet long. And then their tail adds, guess how much?
How much?
2 to 3 feet. They are reddish brown with a pale face. Their tail is a palm-like end, and it is strong enough that they can basically use it as a fifth limb while climbing. They have small thumbs, but long fingers that allow them to swing below tree branches. They live in groups of a couple dozen. They will rub their skin with a combination of saliva and lime tree leaves to deter mosquitoes. They are the third smartest primates in the wild, eating mostly fruit. Their only real predators are pumas and jaguars. They mate facing the same direction, and the male will wrap his arm around the female's chest and his legs around her waist. And they will embrace like this for guess how long?
How long?
8 to 22 minutes. Which do you think is bigger on this animal? The penis or the clitoris?
The penis.
No. The clitoris.
Okay.
The clitoris is bigger than the penis, actually.
All right.
The males will touch the clitoris and sniff their fingers to see if the females are sexually receptive.
Okay.
Where do you think they rank on the red list?
I'm going to say least concern.
No. They're quite concerned with them. They're actually endangered.
No.
Yeah. They're fucking primates that live in forest land in Central America. Can you believe that they're losing their homes?
What a bummer.
Yeah. At Tribal Council, Bruce returns as a member of the jury. Very happy to see this.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to have him there.
Suri doesn't buy when Ara says that it was nice to get away from the game. Whatever. I don't know.
Bullshit.
Yeah, how dare you? Terry claims no one has approached him about working together. What a surprise. Jeff starts prodding them about final twos. I feel like Jeff, stay out of it, you know? Like in this situation, like final six, Jeff, we all know what everybody's doing. You don't need to call attention to it.
Yeah, mind your own business.
So Danielle gets a vote. Aris gets 2 votes. Aris getting votes at every Tribal Council, apparently. And then Courtney gets 3 votes, to the shock of many a people. So, there we are. Courtney's gone. No Mortney, Courtney for Ortney. Oof. Glad we came up with that nickname at the very end.
Not a great working title.
No. So we have a few episodes of Survivor left. Let's see how many episodes. I think we have 3 left of this season. Does that sound right?
Yeah, it does.
What is today?
Today is the 5th.
Today's February 5th.
February.
Yes, episode 13 and 14 next week. 15 the week after that. And then we will simulate a season and also watch Suri Fields on thetraders.com. Starring Alan Cumming. Thomas, this is a lot of reality television we're talking about. But the reality question I want to ask you about is, did you watch The Challenge Ride or Dies last night?
I did not.
Okay, well, did you know it's the first episode of the final?
I didn't. I knew that. Actually, I did know that because last week you told me that TJ said, "Hey, why don't we just do the final right now?"
Yeah,
and everyone was like, "Okay."
He did say that. Do you know what the first task of the final was.
I bet they had to run somewhere.
No, they had to drive a Jeep for 2 hours.
Oh, okay. That doesn't seem like it would be that hard.
Well, the Jeep was actually carrying a trunk that they had to then carry themselves for another 2 hours.
Okay.
To some stationary bikes, which they had to ride for 100 kilometers. And then you know what happened?
That's a long way.
You know what happened after that?
What happened after that?
The trunk would unlock, and they would get supplies to build a tent. At one point, while building the tent, Bananas said to Nani, "Have you ever pitched a tent?" And Nani said, "No, but I've sat down and watched someone do it before." It was funny. I laughed pretty hard.
That is pretty funny.
So Anissa rolled her ankle. At Station 1, they have to throw bolas at whatever. Olivia ripped her finger with one of the carabiners and bled everywhere. Devin and Tori won the first stage. They then have to move one tire 1 kilometer for every eliminated contestant. In order. Anissa and Jordan aren't getting along, but Jordan has a legacy to protect. Okay. While walking with the tires, Jordan talks about how he can heal his white blood cells. What?
Yeah, I don't... Okay. Sure thing, dude.
I mean, I wrote that down, so he must have said it. I wouldn't make that up. Tori and Devin won stage 2. That's now 2 of 2 for that team.
I like the way this is going.
Stage 3 is a slingshot. Easy win for Team Dave. However, the team of rookies had a less easy time with it. The slingshot fell back and hit Olivia so hard in the face that she started bleeding from the bridge of her nose.
Man, Olivia not having a good time.
You know, it looked like a waterfall down the center of her face. It was awful. So she and Horacio were eliminated, or I guess disqualified, medevac, whatever you want to call it. Horacio was so sad that a producer had to come on camera and hug him, and he told them that he was willing to do double the work if he had to. So Horacio's probably coming back.
You would think, right?
I'm sure Olivia will be back too, because they became fan favorites very quickly. Well, yeah, it was a good episode of the challenge, as they all have been. It's a good season, and I highly recommend it. But I know what you really come here for, and that is, of course, the Music Minute.
Music make you lose control. Music make you lose control.
Do you remember a song by a group called Everclear? The song is "I Will Buy You a New Life."
I do remember that song.
What about the song "Hard to Handle" by the Black Crowes?
I'm familiar with that.
And "My Body" by Young the Giant. Thomas, are you familiar with "My Body"?
I'm not. I have not heard that song before.
What about "Connection" by Elastica?
Yes, I really like that song.
Okay, so
That song, they, I believe, lost a lawsuit to the band Wire, which is one of my favorite bands, because the riff from it is the same as the riff from Three Girl Rumba, which is also a very good song.
how about this song that was released on... You're currently at 3 of 4, I just want to point out. May 9th, 2012, from the group's eponymous debut album. Any guesses yet?
Sorry, okay, can you repeat all of the hints again?
This song was released the 9th of May, 2012, from the group's eponymous debut album.
Okay, it's an eponymous debut album that came out May 9th of 2012.
9th of May, 2012, yes. The song's lyrics describe breaking up with an older boyfriend.
Okay. I'm assuming this is this female vocalist. Mm-hmm. And it's a band.
There are multiple people on the song, yes.
I have no idea what this is.
This eventually reached number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 2013 after being featured on the HBO show Girls.
Okay, is it, this is too soon for it to be Haim, I would think.
It is not Haim.
That's...
But you got the correct number of female people making music.
Okay.
This might give it away. It was on a lot of year-end lists, including number 35 on Rolling Stones, who called it the Euro Slut Club Jam of the Summer.
The Euro Slut Club Jam of the Summer.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I'll probably know it when you say it, but just nothing comes to mind.
Sarah Gum and Pitchfork both ranked it in their top 200 songs of the decade.
Okay.
You know what, Tom? It's fine. You know what? I'm not even going to give you this last hand. I don't care.
Oh, so is it Iconopop?
Mm-hmm. What's the song?
Okay. I did actually think that. Yeah, it's what is the actual name of that song?
I'll give you a hint. It's not I Don't Care, which is what I thought it was
I knew
initially.
that wasn't the name of it. I'm trying to remember.
I think that might have been the parenthetical at one point.
So the third, it's the two Iconopop ladies, and it's Charlie XCX.
Mm-hmm.
And I do kind of remember that being on Girls. That probably should have been a decent hint for it, but I don't know. I was more of an all-night guy as far as Iconopop songs go. That wasn't my one of choice.
How does the song go? Remember, they go, I don't care.
Is it I Love It?
I love it. Yeah, you got it. So 4 out of 5, that's 80%. Great job. Much better than they did on my favorite show, Are You the One? This is a segment called 808s and Updates. They did a trivia challenge about the men listening to the women. Oh, I apparently didn't update my notes on this one.
Yeah, I remember that from last week.
I think they got 4 beams this week. Okay, so that was 808s and Updates.
I give it 4 beams up.
It's a good season. Don't totally recall what happened there, but you know, still, it's good, and I recommend it. Do you want to do a Probst Pros? We're coming here in the end.
Let's get in there. Let's do some Probst Pros. Do you have one that's already been done, or are we doing one?
This one has actually already been done. Oh, and it looks like it was done by our high school friends.
Okay, I like this. I'm interested to see what they picked.
As it is February, this one is in honor of Black History Month. You'll see soon enough. George Washington Carver was a very fat African-American scientist. Not off to a great start. He was born a Tom in Missouri. Off to an awful start.
Yeah, I have to assume one of our friends thought it would be fun to put my name on there.
Let me say Tom with an H.
Yeah, so it's me.
In Missouri and graduated from Iowa State College with a high Jakes. That means nothing.
This is very creative so far.
He then worked at Tuskegee Institute as the head of Janine department and did... This is only for us. And did much research in the field of...
I'm sensing a theme here.
What do you think our good friend George Washington Carver did a good amount of research in the field of?
Probably the field of, I'm going to say the field of Shannon.
The field of Hannah.
Oh, okay.
He discovered many new uses for the peanut, the soybean, and the Toblerone.
Ooh, like that.
He also improved the production of cotton and helped the entire economy of Fallujah. George Washington Carver was looked up to as inspiration by all formerly dead people.
Okay.
His death in 1943 was a loss to science and to sneakers everywhere. So That one was bad.
What a classic. What a classic.
We did bad on that one, actually. I think on that one, that was
we
an
did
F.
really good, I think. I think that was a solid. That was a good one.
That was a lot of unintentional racism that we didn't mean to do, and we're really sorry.
We did in no growth.
So
we're learning and growing. We're very sorry.
Okay. I want to make up for this one. I just turned to this one. It's going to take like 2 seconds, and it's really good. It's called Letters to a TV Editor, so it's actually on theme. How dumb can network farts be? They cancel a fart show, such as I'll Be a Monkey's Fart, and replace it with another one of those fart reality shows. Why don't they take all the fart TV executives, put them on a desert fart, and leave them there to fart? Signed, a farting viewer.
That's pretty good.
Believe me, television is going to the farts. I can't believe the fart they're dishing out.
Damn, this madlib is spitting.
What's being offered to the fart public is truly mind farting. Signed, a disenchanted fart. And this is the last letter to the editor. I think today's sitcoms are just as fart as the golden farts of the past. What needs to be eliminated is the fart laugh fart. Signed, Signed, a confirmed couch fart. All right.
Yeah. Wow. What a charming.
Sorry, the second one wasn't in honor of Black History Month, but I just saw the word fart 20 times and I had to read it aloud.
Yeah. Good stuff. Very creative.
Thomas, if you people want to hear you talk about farts on the website, that is twitter.com, where would they do that?
They can follow me at Tom Not Tom. Talking about the records that I have now or farting.
Lots of good,
one or the two.
Lots of good records, lots of good farts. You can follow the show on DYWSLN. That's, of course, the initials of the show. Oh, speaking of initials of the show, DYWLW. Did you see they put all of the Sami Zayn bloodline story up to this point in one video on YouTube?
I didn't. That's cool, though. I'll probably watch that.
Yeah, highly recommend it. We're also on Instagram at The Only Survivor Podcast. We can do that. Or on Patreon. If you do want to listen to DYWWLW, you can do that. Or any other show at patreon.com/justpodcasts. Was there a show you wanted to shout out, Tomas?
Let's shout out... You were talking to me about it earlier. Did You Sleep Last Night?
Yes. Great episode of Did You Sleep Last Night?
Talking about dreams. And I'm not talking about the song Dreams by the Cranberries. I'm talking about actual dreams.
Yeah, action dreams. I know that's not what you said, but imagine something called action dreams.
Pretty cool.
I had a anxiety dream that was monotonous and boring. I want to say Ben Linus was involved and like instructing me to dig up trees or something. Very boring. But then I was woken up by my cat screaming for breakfast. So it was all good in the end. Couldn't fall back to sleep.
It all worked out.
Did you thank the fans already?
I did not thank the listeners. I would like to thank the listeners.
And did you give them the Apple review boilerplate?
Okay, so this is the boilerplate review to leave for the 5-star review that you give us. This is my favorite podcast. I like it better than all the other podcasts. I give it a big thumbs up. Spotify is corrupt and won't allow me to leave a review, but if I could, I would say I look forward to seeing this in my Spotify Wrapped.
And that's all you have to write. Okay, so next week we'll be back with episodes of Survivor Panama, and those numbers are 13 and 14. Lucky number 13 and 14 is also another lucky number. That's the age you were when this season aired.
It's true. It's coming full circle.
Well, until then, have a great summer.
Deuces.
I was awakened in the middle of the night. I thought I heard you calling my name. I looked around, but there was nobody there. I knew that it was only a dream. Well, I pulled up the covers and I tried to go to sleep, but I couldn't seem to get you off my mind.
Patreon exclusive peek behind the curtain for a show called Did You Sleep Last Night?
Sure.
Thomas, I had a dream that my dad recommended to me the television program Lodge 49.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
That'd
like,
be pretty cool.
Father,
you know what?
I have great news for you.
You should do the reverse, and you should recommend it to your father. I bet he would like it.
I bet he would too, because it's a good show.
Yeah, my dad liked it, so it's got the Tom's dad seal of approval.
Hey, and you know my dad's name.
Yeah. It's got the Tom seal of approval, but will it have the Tom seal of approval?
Yeah.
That's the real question.
Get that dad out of here. That's what they said when Vince McMahon got fired.
It's too much dad.
Yeah. What if WWE really pivots to catering only to dads instead of children?
That'd be sick.
I guess that's what AEW is or whatever. I don't know.
All of the seats around the barricade are like recliner chairs. They're all like lazy boys.
That's a great idea. I'm into it.
All the sponsors are for like home theater system companies for like speakers.
All they seem to want to do is cry. Here I go again. I'm missing you again. Think about giving me just one more try. Here I go again. I'm missing you again. Think about giving me just one more try. Think about giving me just one more try.
Smarten up, Probst.